Good evening to everyone on YouTube. Welcome to another Boss Teacher Live. I'm excited to have you on here for another session. And tonight, this session, we're going to be talking about how teachers can really earn more with their skills. So welcome to everyone who is popping on. If you're just popping in, just type in the chat and let me know exactly where you are watching from. So we're live on Facebook as well in the Teacher Entrepreneur Success Club. So if you're on Facebook and you want to interact with the community a little bit more and just to understand a little bit more about how you can earn online, then pop into our Facebook community. It's called Teacher Entrepreneur Success Club. You can search and request access. So we're going to take about a minute or two and just wait for more people to hop onto the call. And then, and then we are going to get started. Welcome. All right. So as you come in, just go ahead and type in the comments and let me know where you are watching from. Let me say again, we're going to be talking about how teachers can earn more using the skills that you currently have. Hello, Robert, and welcome. Welcome to you. Let's know where you're watching from. And to the people on YouTube, just go ahead and type in the comments as well. So one more minute, and then I'm going to jump right into the content, and we are going to get started. Are you guys ready? Let me know if you're ready. Let me know. Show up some hearts. Do something and let me know if you're ready to learn about how you can earn with your skills and your talents in this session. Are you ready? Are you ready? All right, just a few more seconds. And then we are going to get started. Okay, so an audio test, completely forgot. An audio test. Are you able to hear me? Please type in the chat and let me know if you are able to hear me. So once I get a yes, an amen, a thumbs up, a heart or something, then we're going to jump right into it. I'm assuming that if you haven't been hearing, you would have at least let me know so far because my mouth has been moving. So you should be hearing, otherwise I would be getting some complaints. All right. So we are ready. Okay, great. Fabulous. All right, so we are ready to go. So tonight, in this session of the Boss Teacher Live, I am going to be sharing with you some shifts you need to make in order to really start to earn more, right? Because we have some limiting beliefs as teachers that puts us at a disadvantage for really stepping out and utilizing our skills and our expertise to generate additional income streams. And I'm going to drop right into those tonight. But for those of you who are joining for the very first time, and you have no idea who I am, I'm Julia Barnes, the Boss Teacher. And in just 25 seconds, I let you know that I help burnt out teachers to use your skills, your talents, your expertise, and your experiences to start and grow profitable training and coaching businesses. So a lot of times we think that we don't have what it is to start a business. We don't have the expertise because we don't have 10,000 followers on social media. We don't have the knowledge because we didn't go to business school, or all we know how to do is teach. I help to debunk all of those and show you practical strategies of how you can literally start a business with what you have in here. You have everything that you need to build and grow a profitable business right here. Absolutely nothing else that you need except the coaching that I provide. So for those of you who are interested in getting extra help in that area, you can go to teachers2bosses.com and learn more about the mentorship program, the business mentorship program that I help you to build out your business from scratch. All right. So the website is teachers2bosses.com. So let's jump right into tonight's content. Now, there are certain things as teachers that we tend to say to ourselves, we tell ourselves, and we start to repeat them over and over and over again. And we shy away, and literally shy is the word, because we tend to shy away from building any business at all because we tell ourselves these few things. Now, a few weeks ago, I shared with you a few opportunities that you can get into today as a teacher, like within this very second as a teacher, and start building out businesses in those areas. If I remember from the top of my head, a few of those were tutoring, starting a childcare businesses, and so on. And I have those listed on my social media platforms. However, because of some of the following, we tell ourselves that we literally can't. When teachers generally come to me, these are some of the excuses and the mindset shifts that I have to deal with to actually get them to understand that they can. So here's the first one. I can't do anything but teach. Like, you go to teachers college or whatever, wherever you go to get your teacher certificate, and you come out, you go into the classroom, you've probably been in the classroom for a while. And because you're so seasoned, you did 4 years of college, you have how many years of experience? Many times you think in your mind that you cannot do anything else but teach. And especially those teachers who have been in the classroom for decades, we tend to block ourselves in, or put ourselves in a box, and think that the only business I can start is a teaching business because that's all I've been doing for the past 10, 15 years. Or the only thing that I can do is tutoring because that is pretty close to teaching, and I basically know how to manage that. Or the only other thing I could possibly do is upgrade myself within the education system in order to get more money. So they're thinking along the lines of becoming a principal, or becoming a college lecturer, university lecturer, or doing some kind of administrative work in the education field. And that's all good and well, but many times teachers do not realize that they have so much more skills that are in them, or sometimes they do, but they're not sure how to translate it and to turn it into a tangible business that other people can appreciate. It was just on Friday that I was having a conversation. On Friday, if I remember correctly. Yeah, late last week, I was having a conversation with a principal who's been in the system for many, many, many years, a few years shy of retirement. And she was sharing with me that she's been doing this for quite a while, and she's just ready to go. She knows there's so much that she can contribute to the world outside of the classroom and even using her teaching skills, but she's not sure how to get it done. So this is a school principal that has been working in the school system for many, many years, has experience in multiple countries, has experience in multiple different fields in education, is accustomed to training, is accustomed to conducting workshops, is accustomed to teaching, is accustomed to administration. And if you give her something to do right now in the education system, she executes flawlessly. However, she's not ready to launch out into something new, and she needs that guidance. And that's the kind of guidance that I provide. But the point I'm trying to make here is she realizes that she has something in her that is it's more than teaching, but she didn't know how. And that's where a lot of teachers get stuck. We either know that we have those gifts that we can use outside of the classroom, and we don't know how to execute, or you don't realize that you have those gifts. And so you don't realize that you can contribute so much more to the world. Now, here's another example of how we box ourselves in. A few years ago, when I was going to school as a student teacher, our group started out with like 15 of us. I remember 15 of us in the cohort at the time. And there are two teachers in particular that did not make it to the end of the teacher training. Not because they couldn't, but during, I think one of them left within the first year, another one left in second year, they realized that their lives were not designed or destined to be in the classroom, even though they had those teaching skills, they had those teaching inclinations, but they realized that there was so much more to them than just being in teaching. The last time I spoke with one of them, she was actually a warden. She was actually a warden. And I can't recall what the other one was doing. But the point I'm trying to make is us as individuals, we are not one dimensional. There's so much more to us. And if we peel back some of the layers, we realize that yes, we can teach, but we can also cook. We can also bake. We can also go in administration, and not necessarily in the classroom, but administration in other fields. Yes, we can also write. There are authors in us. There are designers in us. And we have so many skills and talents that we put on the back burner simply because we care so much more about the kids in front of us. And the truth is, so many teachers use that as an excuse to not pursue the passion that is burning deep out inside of them. Because they say, oh, I just want to see my students succeed. Oh, I want so and so to be successful. Oh, I want to see this one come out to the best. And yes, that is awesome. That is great. That is commendable and fabulous. But at the end of the day, are you doing it at the expense of your own dreams, your own desires, and those things that are really buried inside of your heart? So yes, you can teach, but there is so much more to you than just teaching. So that's the point I'm trying to make. And so you can literally take those desires, take those dreams, take those expertise, those experiences that you have, and build out, whether it be an online course or an entire program, like an entire business model, whether you want to write a book. I'm not even pointing in the correct direction. Whether you just want to write a book or whatever it is that you intend to do, you can use those skills and those expertise that you have to do something outside of teaching. And one of the things that I am an advocate for is that I don't want teachers to get caught up in just making money on the side, or we're just trying to build a hustle. I want us to be intentional about pursuing things that you are passionate about, right? Pursuing something that you are absolutely passionate about, and something that you will continue to love doing indefinitely in the future. Because sometimes if you're just doing something just to make a buck, in a few months, in a few years, the excitement just dwindles down and just withers away. And then you find yourself not excited about doing this thing anymore. And all of a sudden, whatever it is that you're trying to pursue just crashes, right? And you lose interest. And so the business dies, the project dies, whatever it is that you were engaged in, it just dies off. And then you lose that momentum. But when you start to pursue something that you are deeply passionate about from your heart, then it doesn't matter how many days you wake up feeling like you don't want to do this. Like there are some days I get up feeling like I don't want to be boss teacher today. But when I think about the reason I started, I think about the desire that was built inside of my heart. I say, I have to keep going because this is my passion. This is what I want to do. So in pursuing other things, I want you to think about those things that you are absolutely passionate about, right? So here are two things that you're going to think about. And this is generally where I start people out, right? And you might want to write this down. So let me give you 2 seconds to get a pen, get a pencil, something to write down, or just find the notepad on your phone or whatever and just write this down. You're going to think about those things that you are absolutely passionate about. Those things that you love to do. So write that down. What am I passionate about? What do I love to do? Right? And where those two things intersect, that is what you are going to use to build out your business or to start the new project or to start the new income stream. So let me give you an example. And this is the example that I share when I do my free breakthrough strategy sessions. And you can learn more about that at teacherstobosses.com. So this is usually what I tell individuals. Have a column and make a list of all the things that you absolutely love to do. Like those things that you would get up in the morning and it doesn't matter how you feel, you would want to do it. And if nobody pays you any money at all to do it, you will still be engaged in this activity. What are those things? Make a list of them. And then in another column, you're going to make a list of the things that you're passionate about. And here's the difference, because sometimes there's a thin line between the two, and you may not necessarily be able to distinguish them. So the things that you're passionate about, and then the things that you absolutely love to do no matter what. So yeah, for me, I like to dance, right? I haven't danced in over 10 years, but I still dream of me on a stage just moving my body. I love to dance. So that is one of my passions. I'm passionate about dancing. But I don't see myself getting up every single day just dreaming about dancing or going to dance practice or on stage doing backup for some artists or whatever. Like, that's not me. Dancing for me, as much as I love it, it might just be a hobby. Right? So I might do it on a Saturday. I put it down. Next week, Saturday, I take it up again and I do a little dancing for a few hours. And then we're at it 7 days again. But it's not something that I would pursue intensely for the rest of my life. And it's not something that I get up every single day wanting to do. It's not something that I would just go out and start a dancing career and just dance for the love of it, even if nobody would pay me. No, it's just I'm passionate about it, but I'm just passionate about it for 1 day of the week. You understand? So where those two things intersect, that is what you are going to use to pursue, to generate that additional income stream, in whether it be in your business or you just want to start a part-time project and build it out into something that is great and global. So that's going to be like your assignment for this week. So in the Facebook group, the Teacher Entrepreneur Success Club on Facebook, then we can talk a little bit more about how you are building those out. All right. So that's the first point. Another thing where teachers get discouraged or held back is because they think along the lines of selling teaching resources, and especially for the teachers who are open up to the international sphere. We know of platforms like TPT and Fiverr and a couple other platforms that are out there where you can literally just create an account and sell your lesson plans, sell your activity sheets, even those things that you are creating right now for your virtual classrooms. You can literally turn them into something that you can sell on one of those platforms online. And a lot of teachers resort to that because it is all they know, it's all they are exposed to. So when you say to a teacher, I see that you're good at that, something else outside of selling these resources, outside of teaching, I see that you're good at speaking. Do you know that you can turn that into an income generating activity? They are in awe, they are puzzled because they didn't realize that had the potential, or even they had the potential to turn something like that into something that they can sell and create revenue around. So selling your resources on an online platform is all good and well, but you have to understand again that is not all that you can do as a teacher. It can be the go-to initially, absolutely. If you want to sell your resources on TPT or any other platforms, go right ahead. But again, I say, I am not into the business of helping people to build out a side hustle just for building out a side hustle's sake or just making a quick money. I'm in the business of helping people to pursue their passions and profit from it. So yeah, you can do that as a start, but if you are going to continue, ensure that this is something that you really, really want to do. Because I personally know teachers who are selling teaching resources on these platforms, but they don't give it the attention it desires. And you have to understand that whatever business you're trying to build, you have to put a lot of effort and energy into building and growing it. So you put up a few resources on TPT, you put up a few resources on Fiverr, and you leave them there. You pay attention to them once per month or twice per month. And you're the same people coming to me and saying, but Julia, I'm not making any sales. Yeah, because you're not paying attention to your products on these platforms. And the reason you're not paying attention to them is because you're not passionate about it. You're just in it for the money. And being in it for the money, it's okay for a while. But like I said, it's not going to be as sustainable as you want it to be. And it's not going to bring in the kind of income that you want it to bring into, simply because you're not going to be putting in the effort that is passionately needed to build out that business model. So yeah, go ahead. It's a good start to put those teaching resources on those platforms. But are you going to be able to sustain that? Are you going to be able to actively promote? Are you going to be able to actively? And the thing about putting these teaching resources, they don't bring in a lot of money. Like, you're selling these teaching resources for $2, $3, $5, $6 a piece. And imagine that your goal, you're selling this thing for $5 a piece, and your goal is to make an extra $100 every month. You are literally going to have to actively pursue 20 new buyers every single month in order to meet your goal of $100. In my mind, that's all good and well. But the math works out a little bit easier for me if I can sell one course or two courses, let's say an online course for $50. And that's generally the starting price for online courses these days. If I can price my online course at $50 and sell 2 of those per month versus pricing a teaching resource at $5 and trying to sell 20 of those per month, which is easier? Like, which one of those is easier for me in terms of reaching that $100 goal? It is easier and a lot more practical to sell 2 programs, 2 courses at $50 rather than trying to sell 20 teaching resources. 20 teaching resources at $5. It's a lot easier to do the format of using your services in an online course or whether you want to do whatever it is that you want to do, because there are so many different revenue streams that you can create from one single service. So you get a book like this. Think It, Teach It, Sell It, a blueprint for creating and publishing your courses online. And you decide that you're going to use the instructions in this book to create your first online course, right? And say you decide to price your online course at $50, however you want to price it. And you decide that you're going to use the strategies that I'm teaching you how to market. You are going to use the strategies that I'm teaching you how to sell and maintain an active presence on social media. And you start to build a following. People know about your course. People are interested in your course. People want to buy your course. It's not that difficult. It's not as difficult to get 2 new people on any month to buy your program, as opposed to getting 20 new sales for one of your teaching resources. Because here's the thing, in order to get those 20 new sales, you have to have at least minimum, let me do the math. Hold on, let me do the math. So at 20% conversion, where's my calculator? If you're not doing a lot of marketing, right? And if you're just sitting there, just posting randomly on social media, you must have an audience of at least 2,000 people. At least 2,000 people. And this is just you leisurely coming onto social media every now and again, which is what most teachers do. Leisurely coming on to social media every now and again, not necessarily engaging with your email list. And that's something that's extremely important. And just leisurely, casually mentioning to people that, oh, I'm on TPT. You need an audience of at least 2,000 people in order to make those 20 sales. And those 20 sales might not necessarily happen because consistently showing up. So it makes more practical sense to sell a product that is of a higher value and sell less of it in order to reach your goal than selling a product that is of a lower value and trying to sell more of it, especially when you're at your full-time job and your teaching job takes up 8 hours during the day and another 5 hours at your home. So those few hours that you have left in the day to focus on your business, you have to use those few hours very, very strategically. So rather than trying to burn yourself out to sell 20 products every single month, why not put that much more effort into creating a high value program that you can price higher, hence reaching your goal a lot easier? Does that make sense to you? I hope it does make sense. So that's point number 2. So one more point, and then we're gonna be closing off the session. So make sure you have your questions ready, because we're going to jump into Q&A once I'm done with our next point. Now, another thing that many teachers come to me and share is the fact that we are not trained in business. I feel like I'm too close to the camera. So a lot of teachers, they will get very hesitant or lack the confidence to even tell people that they're trying to start a business because they feel that they don't have any business training. And I help again to debunk that. Because the fact is, I don't know about every single teacher training institution, but the one I went to, we have one course that we did called Entrepreneurship. It was a 3-month program, like a 1-semester course. So we meet, I believe it was either 2 or 3 hours every week for the entire semester. That was it. And what I learned in that course, I know for a fact that that is not enough for anybody to know how to build a business. I know that for a fact. Many of the business strategies that I have learned over the years and implemented in my own business, I didn't learn in school. I was a part of the Branson Center of Entrepreneurship here in Jamaica in 2011. So for those of you who are not familiar with who Richard Branson is, he's like one of the greatest multimillionaires of our time. Crazy guy, owns the Virgin brand, and decided that he was going to plant an entrepreneurship center in the Caribbean. Jamaica was the first country to have that established. And I was part of, I believe, cohort 2. Yes, I was a part of cohort 2 to be trained in entrepreneurship. And the entrepreneurship training that I got at the Branson Center was intense. It was nothing compared to the entrepreneurship course that I did in teacher training school, right? Absolutely nothing. The entrepreneurship course that I did in college was just a smidgen of what I learned as part of the Branson Center. And over the years, I took it upon myself to learn a lot more about business. So I've been trained by various different business organizations locally. So I consider myself having a good knowledge of how to run a business, start, grow, and operate a business. And so I'm at an advantage because I had all of that exposure. But 100% of the teachers that come to me have never had that. The only exposure that many of them have had, or many of you have had for that matter, is that one entrepreneurship course in college. And many teacher training institutions do not offer entrepreneurship as an option, as an elective. So I know a lot of teachers graduate from school, they have their degree, but they have no idea how to run a business. And they let that hold them back. And they let that dwindle their confidence. But I want to give you hope, because the truth is, how you do business in 2020, especially in an era where digital business, online business has become mainstream, you have to throw out many of those traditional business principles that you have learned. I kid you not. I'm probably using around 50% of what I learned in all the business training over the years today as part of what I do as boss teacher. Many of the strategies that I have been implementing, I have learned from coaches. And these are coaches who I see them doing amazing things in their businesses. I see them doing things that I wanted to do. And I took it upon myself to invest in those coaches and learn from them the strategies, the processes, the principles, all those things that they are doing in their business. And so as I learn, I implement, and I also grow the Boss Teacher brand. Right? So that is the same advice I am giving to you. You might not be good in business. That's okay. You might not know how to operate a traditional business. That's okay. The very fact that you are teachable, you are a teacher. So if you're a teacher, you must be teachable, right? So the very fact that you are teachable, it means that you should be open to learning new things. That's the whole ethos of being a teacher. You must be open to learning new things. So you're open to learning new things. That simply means that you have an opportunity to expand this, to expand your knowledge. And in expanding your knowledge, you're now going to use this new information, this new way of thinking, this new way of managing business and starting and growing business in a digital era. You're going to implement those strategies and those systems in your new business and help it to grow as well. And that is essentially what the Teachers to Bosses program is all about. So when you go to teacherstobosses.com, you schedule a free, and let me emphasize, it's a free 45-minute strategy session where I help you to, one, identify what business you have in your head that you can monetize, what idea, what expertise, what skills, what talents, what are those things that you have already that you can monetize. And then we decide exactly how you're going to find the people who are going to buy from you. And we also decide exactly who those people are, because you have to get very specific and very clear on those three things. What is it that you want to sell? Who you're going to sell it to, and where you're going to find those people. So when you book that free strategy session with me, that's what we do a deep dive into. And then we decide from there whether or not you want to become a part of the mentorship program. The mentorship program is essentially a 6 weeks training that just fleshes out all of those three principles and show you how to practically execute so you can start earning. That's the point. All right. So for those of you who are interested in really getting that kind of mentorship to build out your business, then again, go to teacherstobosses.com. So now I'm opening up this session for any questions that you may have. All right, so it's Q&A time. Ask away. Let me just type something in the comments right here. So share your questions, guys. It's Q&A time. Let me know what are your thoughts. And while I wait, just let me know, was this session meaningful to you? Did it help you? Did it open up your mind a bit to understand a little bit more about what you can do, what you can really use your expertise to accomplish, and how you can use it to generate additional streams of income? Let me know in the comments and type your questions as well. All right, so a comment from Lashina. Lashina is saying that you must be intentional and on purpose. Absolutely. That's Lashina, I can tell you how, like, my thoughts on just building a business that is completely aligned with your purpose is a part of what I do. Like I said this before, I don't want people coming to me just wanting to make a quick buck or just wanted to do something on the side just for making money's sake. And if people come to me with that intention, and I realize that this is their intention, I'm going to call it out. And I'm going to let you know that I see where this is going. And if you definitely want to continue along this path, then we cannot work together. Simple. But if you are serious about pursuing your passions and really aligning your gifts, your talents, and really aligning that to a business model and completely transforming your life with that business that we're going to use to build out online, then by all means, we can continue this conversation, we can continue the relationship. But outside of that, I cannot help you with a good conscience. You understand? I can't do it. And my conscience has to be clear in everything that I do. So I'm all about helping people to really put out purpose and use your purpose, your passions, your expertise to monetize them and just use them to make your life a whole lot better. That's a part of my mission. That's what I believe. That is one of the values that I hold dear as a part of the Boss Teacher brand. All right, any more questions coming in? Type your questions in the comments, guys. Patricia is saying, I highly recommend the free strategy session. Oh, thank you, Patricia. Patricia and I had a chat the other day. She booked a breakthrough strategy session with me. And for her to say that is just a testament of the session that we have together. It's a 45-minute session. And really and truly, how much time we spend together is really dependent on how much you talk. Really. So I generally slot out 45 minutes. Sometimes we go for an hour. Sometimes we go over an hour. But that is really dependent on how much you talk and how much you are willing to really flesh out your business so we can put it back together as a whole and get a lot more clarity on how you can move forward. So that's really it. Really is it. Let me pull up my book, guys. So this is a book that I use to take notes. Oops, sorry. This is a book that I use to take notes for my strategy session. It's a little composition book. And when I tell you I go through pages and pages of notes with each client, it's not funny. Like the last session I had this morning, 2 pages and some jottings over here. I've had 3-4 pages of information on strategy sessions. And the truth is, that is what you want, because you want somebody who is going to listen to what you have to say and really understand your business on a different level and tailor something that is suited for you. You don't want a cookie cutter solution, because what works for me might not work for you, might not work for the next person. Right? So you don't want a cookie cutter solution. You don't just want a template. You want something that is specifically suited for you, that you can apply in your business. Right? And so in these strategy sessions, I have pages and pages of notes that I take for each client that I sit down with. And when I take my notes, I look back, I assess, I evaluate, see what they're saying, ensure that I have a good understanding of what they're trying to say to me. And then based on what is given to me, I break it down and I give you my thoughts and I tell you what my recommendations are based on my expertise in business. And it is up to you to decide whether you're going to take my word and go and run with it. Right? And usually the people who run with it, they are the ones who are seeing the results. They are the ones who are seeing the results, because I just want to see the best for you. Like purpose, walk in purpose and just live good, live happy and enjoy what you're doing. Like you enjoy what you're doing, you never work another day in your life. And that's what boss teacher is to me. Boss teacher is not working. Like literally, guys, just before I came on this session tonight, I wasn't feeling so great. Like I was dragging myself to sit around the computer. The minute I opened up YouTube and just the cameras were on, it's like I transform into a completely different person. And when I'm done here, I'm gonna plop down in my bed because I know it's gonna come back. But when I'm sitting here and I'm doing this, it doesn't feel like work. I enjoy every single minute of it. And some people will tell me I chat too much sometimes. I think I enjoy myself a little bit too much, where I just go all in with the talking. Just get used to it. Any more questions, guys? Any more questions? All right. All right, so Patricia is saying what you said about selling the teaching resources like lesson plans, etc., for those real low prices make a lot of sense. Yeah, yeah, makes sense. Why go out there and try hunt for 20 new customers when you can just hunt for 2? Why? It's just like it just makes more sense. You understand? So, like I am in the business of making life easier. And I was sharing with a client this morning and said, my whole objective is to work less and earn more. That's the reason I left the classroom. I didn't leave the classroom burnt out, miserable, tired, and stressed to come and build a business that is going to burn me out, make me miserable, tired, and stressed. No. The whole reason I left the classroom was because I was burnt out. I was miserable. I wasn't spending any time with my family. And I needed that freedom. And so in my business, I'm doing the exact opposite of what I did in school. I'm making sure that whatever business I'm building, I must completely enjoy it. It must not burn me out. I must not be miserable at it. I must absolutely love what I do. And it must give me the freedom that I needed. It must give the same freedom why I wanted why I left the classroom. My business must give me that. And those are the same things I teach you. Those are the very same things I teach you. So go ahead and book your strategy session with me and we can start the process there. Good? All right. Any more questions before we log out today, guys? Or any more comments? Let me know as well. Was this session helpful for you in any way? Was this session helpful? Okay. Read the online courses. Do you recommend teachers do those on subject areas they teach at school? Or should we do it on other areas? Okay. So you want to know if you're creating an online course, should you create the online course based on a subject that you currently teach in the classroom or something else, right? So, and that something else could be what you're passionate about, whatever else you're an expert at, and so on. The choice is literally yours. The choice is literally yours. What I do is I share with you the different areas that you can explore. So I've developed what I call the CRESS method. And CRESS is an acronym, KRES. K is for knowledge, R is for results, E is for expertise, and S is for signature story. And I use the CRESS method to guide you in the direction of what you want your course content or what you want your business model to be about. Now, once you've gone through the CRESS method and you've looked at those 4 different elements, if at the end of going through the CRESS method, you realize that, okay, based on the reflections that I've done, based on my responses to the various activities and the questions, then you have landed on creating a program around the subject that you currently teach, that's completely okay. If you land on creating a program around something else other than what you teach in the classroom, that is fine as well. The whole objective is that whatever you desire, whatever whatever you decide to pursue, it must be something that is completely aligned with your purpose. It must be aligned with something that you're passionate about. So if you are passionate about teaching science, then by all means, create your course around science. If you are passionate around helping teenagers gain self-confidence, then by all means do that, right? So the guidance I give in the CREST method, at the end of the day, whatever decision or whatever conclusion you come up to based on the guidance from the K, the R, the E, and the S, your knowledge, results, your expertise, and your skills, then that is what you are going to pursue. I can tell you though, from experience, that the majority of people who come to me and go through those activities leave with a product, leave with a program that is not aligned with anything related to schooling, right? Majority of persons have come thinking that they're going to create a school-related subject, and they end up not doing that. They end up not doing that. So that is completely up to you. I give you the guidance and the expertise. I share with you my recommendations. You do the activities, you do the assignments, you do the introspection. And then based on that, you decide. All right? I hope that answers your question. Any more questions before we clock out tonight, guys? Let me know. Any more questions before we go? All right, great. So if no other questions, just a quick reminder that you can go to teacherstobosses.com to learn more about how you can use your expertise, your results, your signature story, your skills, and everything that God has given you inside of your heart, inside of your mind, that is stirring up deep within your soul, how you can use those things to build an entire business model around it and use it to generate another income stream. If you are interested in doing that, then go to teacherstobosses.com, schedule a free strategy session with me, and then we can decide from there how we are going to move forward. If the mentorship program is right for you, and then what are the options for you to become a part of the business mentorship family. And so once you book that free strategy call with me, it's a 45-minute session. 45-minute session. Like I said, it can go longer based on, how much information we are going to be delving into about your current business. And even if you don't have a business, you still can book. As a matter of fact, if you don't have a business, you are ideal for booking the strategy session, because it literally means that you are going to be starting from scratch for building out that business. And so you're coming in with fresh, having no idea, not sure what you're going to be delving into. And I help you to build that out. So if you don't have an idea of what your business can be, or you already have a business, but you need some help with really generating income, you're not getting any customers, you're not sure what to do, why is the business not growing, then that's what the strategy session is about. And we talk for 45 minutes to an hour or so, and then we decide how we're going to move forward from there. So teacherstobosses.com. Remember that next week, Monday, we meet same time, same place. We chit chat and we share information about how you can just build a brand and a business that you absolutely love. I want to make the distinction though, before we go, that these sessions on a Monday night, whenever I go live on Instagram, or whenever I send you an email or share a video on social media, whatever, that kind of content, these sessions are very general and very broad. So you're getting value, but it's not going to be tailored specifically for you and what your goals in business are, but it gives you ideas. When you get into the mentorship program is very structured and very streamlined and very specific on what you want to achieve, right? And so, yes, you're going to be getting value from this, but you're going to be getting more systemized and structured value out of the mentorship program. So you can take what we're sharing here on these sessions and go and implement and still earn. But when you become a part of a program, become a part of the coaching and the mentorship, then you're going to get specific guidance that is going to help you to tailor a business that is just right for you. All right, guys. So I'll see you next week, Monday, same time, same place. Make sure you grab a colleague when you're coming and bring them on so that they can learn as well. When something this nice, you don't keep it to yourself, okay? So share it among your teacher friends, share it in your WhatsApp groups, share it on your Facebook groups, share it on your Facebook timeline, and just let everybody know what is happening and how they can benefit. All right, so that's it for this session, guys. I'll see you next week, same time, same place. Walk good.